My name is Shametria Gonzalez, and I like to tell people I'm a small town country girl who had a really big dream. So let me start off with telling you a little bit about myself. I was born very, very small. My mother and a father were both addicted to drugs. Growing up, I was tossed around, house to house, home to home. I really didn't have anywhere to go. I suffered from abandonment, rejection, dyslexia, but I always was a good student athlete. So I would go to school, and some kind of way I found refuge in being a student athlete and playing sports, being a part of a team, because when I went home, it was always division. Around the age of 15 years old, I decided to go and emancipate myself. I said, you know what? Nobody looking after me. I'm 15 years old, out on the streets by myself. So I was working at Sonic Drive-In, and these women would come up to me, and they would just talk to me, and they would just try to coerce me and ask me questions like, where you from, girl? How much money you make? You know, you're so beautiful. I'm like, oh. So I didn't know it at the time, but they were recruiting me and to be trafficked. Over the course of the next 3 years, I would be raped, abused, drugged, beat, tossed around, and manipulated mentally. So the reason I share that with you, number one, is to raise awareness on sex trafficking and to let anybody know that is here, to be on the lookout for it, because it could be your daughter, it could be your wife, it could be your son. So in every single video that I do, I know this is going to be talking about bossing up and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, this is how I started. This is my story. This is the reason I'm so passionate right now that I'm even here to be with you, because my story is real and I still suffer from some of those psychological traumas that were attached to that. So today, as I come at you and I tell you these things about my story, because the cars I have, the house, the businesses, the money, none of that stuff is going to make you better. I went through all these things, but I'm still here winning right now. I became successful because God will turn it around for you. That's going to help you. So as I sit here and I share the most vulnerable part of my life and story with you, I'm sharing it because I want you to see me and I want you to see you inside of me. Maybe you weren't trafficked, but somebody messed over you. Some of y'all done been through some things that made you feel less than. Some of y'all started off with family that may not be the best. Some of y'all may have been crack babies. Some of y'all may have only got a GED, but now I'm working on my MBA. Oh yes, if I do it, you can do it. That's why I don't mind sharing my dirt with you. Now I'm here to lift you up, to motivate you, to give you some of this anointing, to give you this energy, to make your spirit feel what I feel, because we just spiritual beings having human experiences. This flesh means nothing, but what I have inside of me is blessings, miracles, testimony. So as I connect with you, got to start with my story. So I go on and I write my story to every single HBCU, and they finally, Southern gets me. They tell me and my daughter could come. I go, I play sports, I graduate, I get out, I go into the working force field, and I start telling my story, just like I'm doing right now. See, I turned my pain into my purpose. But other people made money off me as a prophet. So my mission in life is to tell you to own your story, to get in touch with that pain and pull from it. What you make it out of qualifies you to help others that are still in it. Suicide couldn't keep you down. Drugs couldn't keep you down. Financial heartbreak couldn't keep you down. Divorce couldn't keep you down. And it's my story, so I can't come at you and not get a little emotional, because this is real. I remember the last time that I fundraised for somebody with my voice, with my story, with this anointing, and everybody in the room started giving money to the organization. I went home that night. They raised $800,000. I went home that night, and I had an eviction note on my door. So I called up that organization. I said, hey, I know y'all just raised all that money. Like, I'm kind of struggling right now. Can I just get my rent paid and get a little, advance on my paycheck? They said, Shametria, I'm sorry. The funds are not allocated to housing. I never felt so low and so used, because I know now that everybody was getting something off of Shametria, and it made me feel just like I was still being trafficked. So I got to work. I said, you never again. I quit my job. I took every piece of money I had. I sold my car. I moved in with my baby daddy, and we wasn't even together. And I liquidated everything. I rode the bus, but I put every penny that I had into going to Lisa Nichols conferences, Les Brown conferences, Tony Robbins conferences. I started to learn how to work stages, how to make myself a business, how to get paid for what it is that I had on the inside of me. Yeah, your story matters, but it can matter a lot to somebody who don't care nothing about you. I decided to start sharing my story, and I created a company called Unleash to Speak. It's two things that I do. I help speakers get booked for 10,000 up. I don't do nothing under 10,000 stages. And then on the opposite side of that, I help survivors craft their story, heal from their story, and pull from their story so they can go and fight at the legislative level politically. And so they can also get paid for it, turn their stories into books and memoirs, because their story, because they made it out, qualifies them to help others that are still in it. And people are hurting. So if you can use your story and also get paid for your story, then you can continue to say and speak your story. But it don't matter how you start. It matters how you finish. So I'm still that woman that was trafficked. I'm still that woman that was a crack baby. I'm still that young girl who had nothing and was poor. I'm still that young girl who only had a GED. People get to hear that story, and wherever they are in their life, they get to see me on that stage. I'm not there for me. I'm there for you. I'm there for us. Because no matter what happens in your life, you can make it through. You just got to get the right mindset, and you got to get going. You got to start to think about things that are going to help you level up and get to another place, because where you're at is only going to get you to another level. So if you just look at it as stairs, then everyone you're going to be on, you're going to be rocking. You just got to keep climbing. Okay. At first, I was good. I was a speaker. I had my business going. I was helping other people. I was serving. I was a little thousandaire. Success leaves a trail. All you got to do is follow it. So I got my real estate license. I started working into multifamily. Some people, they start wholesaling. Some people, they start with real estate investing. I started off in multifamily. For those who don't know, multifamily is the way to go. We flip small apartment buildings in order to get a return on our investment. And when we do that, think about the logic. A small flip will trade about every 1 to 3 years. When you get business with an investor, that investor will come back to you back and back and back, because you're doing small deals. If you do a 100+ door or a big building, think about it. That's going to be what? Once every 10 years? I wanted money coming in back to back to back. But first I had to get the license. Then I had to learn what to do. When you meet somebody that has the success that you want, all I ask that you do is to listen and to be a student. First thing I want you to do is open your LLC. Okay, make your LLC an S Corp. You're going to get tax benefits from that. Employ your children in your business and start a Roth IRA. You can put up to $6,000 a year in there for them, and they're going to have about 10 to 15% returns, and put $500 every month until they become 18. Then I decided to open up a not-for-profit, because I want to run for office. When you have a for-profit and a not-for-profit, you can take that money from your for-profit and donate it to your not-for-profit and get something called a tax write-off. And if you're going to be in politics, do a 501c4, not a 501c3. So you can actually have political stake in it, okay? Now, I need a foundation. Because once you get a foundation does not have the same regulations as a not-for-profit. A foundation is basically like a bank. And people could donate to your foundation and still get a tax write-off. After I did that, I got a trust, because a trust allows you to put money in there and it can't be touched. Then I got a will. So I need to make sure that my affairs are in order. And then after all that, I decided to get some whole life insurance, because guess what? You're going to have something called an estate, which is a portfolio of everything that you own. And that right there will be what you leave to your children. So when you have an estate, you have to understand that's real estate. Like real estate to me is going to be my real estate. What am I passing on? I will never pay off everything I have, guys. You better learn how to utilize credit and debt. Because when you leave this earth, you have insurance policies that will pay off your estate, and you will pass down that estate to your children debt-free. This is stuff that nobody taught me in school. This is stuff that nobody showed me in a classroom. I didn't even learn it. I experienced someone who was already there making multi-millions of dollars. They showed me the system. Everything in life that you have is a system. My life was very broken growing up. I didn't have anybody, but I learned a system and I worked the system. Wealth is understanding how to mitigate yourself in taxes. It's learning how to have an asset versus a liability. Wealth is a mindset. I'm a very wealthy multi-billionaire. Maybe I've only seen 100,000s close to 1,000,000, but I believe that I'm a billionaire. And I want you to believe that you are as well, because if you believe it, you can receive it. At this conference, guys, I want you to come into this conference with a mindset that you are a seven-figure earner already. It don't matter what you've been through, baby. It only matters where you're going. It's not how you start, but it's how you finish. I don't have a strategy for you. I have my testimony of how I started. I have the fruits of the labor to show you social proof of where it is that I have now, what it is that I'm doing now, and how I've been able to pull myself up out of that. And then I used what I went through to serve others, because the amount of money you make is only going to be in direct proportion to the people that you service. So who are you serving? How are you serving? What is your gift? Because your gift will always make room for you. You have to trust and believe me on this. What is keeping you from being successful? What is stopping you from getting your blessing? What is keeping you from being a seven-figure earner? Because it has a hold on you. And when something got a hold on you, you can't break free. But I'm telling you right now, I broke free up out of that domestic violence. I broke free up out of that sexual trafficking. I broke free up out of being poor. I broke free of people telling me that I wasn't going to be nothing, because I decided to make a choice to put myself in the room with people that were different than me, people that had more money than me. And I put everything that I had into personal development, redeveloping my mind. I leave you with this. Do not conform to the ways of the world. Be transformed by the renewing of your mind. That is Romans 12:2. So I need you to figure out a way to work on your credit. I need you to figure out a way to start getting into some of these rooms. I need you to get your real estate license. If you can't do that, then I need you to learn how to wholesale. I need you to get in the game of having real estate so we can pass on estates to our children. These are things that people are teaching me, that they're showing me. And I just want you guys to learn and to be able to do the same. Shametria Gonzalez is my name, and you can find everything that I do by going to my website, shametriagonzalez.com. I am the COO, the Chief of Operations for a not-for-profit. Is a place where we have women that have been sexually trafficked. We buy them homes so they can start their life over. I am the queen of booking speakers. It's called Unleashed Speak. And it's two-pronged. One side of it is called Unleashed. So we help survivors. We bring them to a retreat. We help them redevelop themselves. We help them shift their mindset. We help to make them feel better about their situation. And then we teach them how to take their story and then turn it into currency. But I also teach entrepreneurs how to use their story to connect with their audience, to be able to get them to know who they are. I'm here because I am a vessel for you. I am here to show you what I've been through, show you how I made it out, show you what I have now, because that's the proof. And then I can tell you how I can help you to do the same. Because as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, as a high-figure earner, I know that everything that I got is because of people. So if we don't know how to effectively communicate with people, our business will suffer. I appreciate you. I thank you so much for allowing me to serve you. And I just thank you so much. And I appreciate you for your time. Ashe.